Okay. I, 30-year-old female, and my sister, 34-year-old female, dreamed about her wedding day for years. We jokingly planned small details throughout the years when she was single. Fast forward to when she met my now brother in law. We all lived together at one point in time, and that's when he decided to propose. He asked me for a blessing to marry my sister. Of course, I said yes, and I agreed to help plan the proposal. Knowing every single detail my sister wanted, this proposal had to be something special. However, we did not anticipate COVID hitting so hard. So our entire plan had to be scratched, and we planned something else. Even buying the ring itself was an issue, so my brother in law planned a small, intimate proposal at home, and I covered the majority of the expenses for the proposal, since my brother in law is the one who bought the ring, obviously. I cleaned my entire house to stage it for the proposal that day. The proposal was beyond perfect. My sister said yes immediately. My sister quickly appointed me the maid of honor. This sparked major conflict amongst her friends. All right, so pause here. Sister is very much involved in her other sister's engagement and has like a close relationship with her brother in law. They all live together. You tracking? Okay.
Yeah. Is she the only sister?
It seems like there's only two of them. From what I could read,
Okay.
there's just two of them. And the one who's writing
Okay.
this is the younger one. They're 4 years apart, like us. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Fast forward a few years for the wedding. I frequently call my sister asking if there's anything that needs to be done, like do you need me to call vendors, helping find XYZ, all minor details that she might have forgotten or needed help with. Every time I called, I was met with the same response. No, I have Samantha taking care of it already. Or if it wasn't that, I was given a small task that was meaningless and not really affiliated with the wedding at all. However, I did everything that she asked me to, giving her the results of what I found within 24 hours, being really helpful. Many times the results were unsatisfactory or there was no response from her sister at all. Anyways, it's July. Sister sends out a reminder text for everyone to buy their bridesmaids' dresses. My sister sent this on July 6th. My son's birthday is on July 9th. And I planned on buying my dress right after my son's birthday. And I wanted to be sure that he had the birthday of his dreams because the year before it was COVID. He couldn't have a big celebration. So she wanted to do it big for her son that year and then kind of turn her focus to the wedding. So after the birthday party, she went to pay for her dress, which was 378 US dollars, and the dress was sold out. I immediately called the company that sells the dress asking for a restock date. And then right after I called my sister to tell her what happened, and she hung up in my face. I felt horrible. I kept calling the company, requesting any updates on the dress, and no response. So shortly after, I was baffled to receive a text from my sister stating that I was no longer allowed to be the maid of honor at her wedding. Her exact words, here are the quotes: "This was the last straw for me. I've repeatedly asked for help, and you're not available to me. I need someone who could present on my special day, so I appointed Samantha as my maid of honor. You can still be a bridesmaid. I still want you there on my special day. Make sure you buy your dress, or I don't know what to tell you." End quote. What a complete insult. For context, Samantha is a newly acquired friend by my sister. Samantha overly kisses my sister's behind at every social gathering, pivoting the attention to herself always. I never ever say anything negative about Samantha to anyone. I spoke highly of her, treated her with respect when she was around. But anyways, she chose Samantha question mark? The same Samantha who created a PowerPoint presentation for the bachelorette trip, undermining everyone for the location of the trip. The same Samantha who forced her opinions on everyone else in the bridal party that has known my sister for a collective 19 plus years. That's Samantha? I was hurt, devastated. The day we talked about for years, the day you can only share with your sister once, I didn't say anything negative. I said, okay, I'll be available if you need anything. I understand. And that was the end of the conversation. That night, I cried on my husband's chest in disbelief, and he begged me not to go to the wedding, but I'm not that type of person. All right, we're pulling into the driveway now. We're coming to a close. Fast forward to wedding week. I got my dress, paid for expedited shipping. When it restocked, it was rehearsal day, and I arrived to the venue, and I greet everyone waiting for my sister's orders. Samantha is talking to the venue coordinator after we were all instructed to wait on the bride. And Samantha says to the coordinator, "Oh, I need to know what's going on. Are you the manager? I'm just asking questions because I'm the maid of honor." Everyone stops and looks at me simultaneously, asking, "Wait, I thought you were the maid of honor. What happened?" And I just shrugged and didn't say anything. Wedding day comes along. I give a heartfelt speech about our journey as sisters and highlights and shared moments with my brother in law. Shortly after the speech, I left the wedding ceremony without saying goodbye to anyone, went back to my hotel room, changed my flight to leave the next morning, and I left without a trace, ignoring everyone's calls and distancing from my sister ever since. So she's asking the readers, like, am I a horrible person for ghosting my sister after her wedding? So it's a lot. It's a lot. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on? I call this the Samantha saga, but where are you at with it?
Mm. First of all, mm. first of all, I think she had it planned for a while to have Samantha do it.
Mm,
So the whole like, oh, you just haven't made yourself available, and I've been trying to contact you, is crap.
mm,
That's bull crap.
mm,
That was like to all of a sudden be like, oh, that was this situation was the last straw. Where were the other straws?
mm,
That is crazy to me. There's
mm,
no like that was her excuse
mm,
to say, oh, this is the last straw. It's like, no, you were waiting for something to happen where you could feel like you were justified enough to boost her out as the matron of honor or
mm,
maid of honor.
mhm,
That is insane to me. I don't. Samantha just gonna do what she do. Okay, I don't
mm.
know who Samantha is. Samantha just gonna do what she do. I I don't think that she's a horrible person to just leave after the wedding. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. It kind of feels like you said, it feels like and again, there every story has three sides: yours, mine, and the truth. So I feel like maybe in
yeah.
there were other straws that weren't mentioned that might have gone over the writer's head. But I also kind of feel
Mm,
like you said, like it felt very fast, and it felt kind of like she was waiting for a reason to oust her. And when it finally came with the
mm-hmm.
dress, it was like cool, because people who hate you are going to hate you. They're literally just
Right.
waiting on an excuse. And
Yes.
unfortunately, it's the person who is on the other side of that has to decide to end the relationship, because they're always going to want you kind of there on a string, like a plaything. Like, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
pick you up and play with you when I'm ready again, but only when I say
Yeah.
so. And it
Yeah.
sucks because it's like they planned this day. She was super involved in like payment of the proposal. The way that she
Right.
wrote it, it seemed like it happened in the house where they lived together, but she said it was her house later on. Like, she cleaned her own house.
Mm.
So I feel like she put in a lot of work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe it was like too close for comfort, to where her sister probably felt nervous kind of making that ask or like removing her from it until it got to the last straw. But
Right.
yeah, I agree with you. I don't think she's
That's
a terrible
insane.
person. It's just like, what the heck? Like,
That is insane.
that's
And the fact that they
unfortunate.
haven't, excuse me, the fact that they
Mhm.
haven't talked
Yeah.
or like reconnected is like,
Yeah. Like, ugh.
that's so sad.
And I think about our relationship. Like, I was a
Mm-hmm.
horrible maid of honor because I was like a teenager and in college. And so like
Child,
it was very,
please.
it
I
was
was
very
also
like
in college. So let's remember that, okay?
it was
I
very
was
like
also in college.
ceremonial. Like, I wasn't out running errands. It was very much like the women in our families that did that. And then on the other
Yeah.
side as well, like, you were super helpful, but it was also like you were my bridal party. So like there was no, and then like I had one of my best friends, Alexis, helping me with stuff on the side. So it was just like that never really was a thing. But yeah, I also agree. I don't think she's a horrible person. I hate that it happened that way. Sorry you can't
Yeah.
relate. But yeah, I think like distancing her, because if it wasn't at the wedding, it would have happened in the marriage. It would have happened with kids. It would have happened
Mm.
at somebody's birthday party. Like, it was only a matter of time.
Dang,
I don't think that Samantha is in game. Sometimes people who come in to your life, it's like a seasonal thing, which is totally
for
fine.
sure.
I just hate
For
that, like,
sure.
unfortunately, this seasonal person is wrapped up into this very like permanent mark on their relationship. Um,
Yeah.
so in an alternate universe where this happens to us, for
Mm.
example, do you think that there is space for reconciliation, or do you think that they just need to like charge the relationship?
Mm. No, there needs to be a conversation.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Like, but it has to come from the sister who got married.
Mm. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, she
You know
needs
what
to
I'm
come
saying?
forward and be like, that was a little bit intense. I didn't have to do
Yeah,
like
it
that. And
needs to
she
be
got the
like,
dress on time too. Like nobody would have known. And obviously she didn't communicate that because when she said like I'm the maid of honor, when Samantha said she was the maid of honor, everybody was like, girl, what? Like she didn't
right now
even
that's crazy
have the gusto to tell her wedding party what had
because she
happened.
knew it was wrong. Because she
Mm,
knew it was wrong.
yeah.
So I don't know, man. Nah, conversation needs to happen. Now it can be initiated maybe by, is it the older sister who
The older sister is the
was?
bride and the younger sister is the
Oh,
writer.
Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, of course. So the younger sister, no, yeah, the younger sister needs to be the one to say this. Basically, like, if I don't know, I mean, she can lie, she wants to, I don't know, but she could be like, "Hey, I miss you. If you want to talk about like reconciling balls in your court,"
Yeah. That's fair.
because then the older sister has to be the one to really initiate that,
Mm,
and then have it be on her, like, y'all, the reason why this thing ain't working is because you haven't reached out yet,
yeah. Yeah.
you know? Because right now, the younger sister feels guilty,
Mm-hmm.
and she shouldn't. She
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't, because she's not in the wrong.
She has a whole child that she also is like raising actively right now in a
Right.
pandemic, which is, on its own is a crazy situation to be in.
At 30 and 34, man, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like where we'll be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Just
In
about.
age. That's like our age break. Probably because, yeah, by the time you turn, I'll probably will be like, that's exactly, like, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
What do you think of the husband? Because the husband, when she got removed from her MOH duties, the husband was
Yeah.
like, don't go to the wedding. Like,
Heck yeah.
do you think that he was right?
Okay, well, let me stop. I'm petty, though.
Yeah.
We know I'm petty.
Yeah. We love a husband that rides for you, but it's also like,
And yes, they do.
yeah.
I mean, look, I already know. Like, the show is called Contrary. I already know we would do different things.
Very much so.
Um,
I think that you would not go to the wedding and make it clear that you're not at the wedding and like go to like the spa and like document the whole thing. I would go to the wedding and make a stink the whole time. Like I would be visibly disengaged
Upset.
from the event, but like I
Yeah.
need people to see
Yeah.
it. So we both in different petty ways. We want to be visible in our discontent. It's like one person's in the room and the other person is not.
Nah, my absence is loud.
And my presence is heavy. My resting face is not great, so an active angry face is probably gonna be worse.
Oh, Lord.
Man.
Yeah. Brother, don't go.
He's just straight
That's a
up.
real one.
I mean, yeah, your
That's a
partner
real
is
one.
crying on their chest because they've been hurt by their sister. Like
Ugh,
if the shoe
my
was on
heart.
the other foot and that happened to my husband, who is supposed to be the sir of honor, the best man, then I would probably say the same thing. Like, yo, we don't have to go to this function at all. Like, I understand that approach. Like, that's your role as a partner to be like, how can I suit your needs and bring voice to something that you might not be able to voice yourself, but I want to lay that out as an option. So, shout out to the
Ooh, my
husband.
God.
She's got a good one.
Shout out to the real ones.
What
Yeah.
about Miss Bride's husband? Do you think that this is not his tea, or do you think that he should have been involved in this process at all?
Honestly, I don't think if he said anything, it would have made a difference.
Yeah.
Because of how society views weddings.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the bride's day. Like, forget the
thing.
groom.
Yeah.
So the groom could have expressed whatever he wanted, and it
Yeah.
still would have been like, well, it's her wedding. It's like, no, it's y'all's wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're in this thing together.
Child.
I don't think what he said would have made a difference. I really don't.
Facts. Facts. So shout out to husbands minding their business and stepping in when necessary. And hopefully reconciliation is there. But my good sis, you were not the horrible person for stepping away from that relationship. Like Nicole shared, like maybe you tossed the ball into your sister's court, but you were in every right not to do so. Turn off the lights, leave the court, call it a day.
Period.
Yeah. Scene.